Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. We're on today, the Friday the 19th of summer, and tomorrow on the 20th and 21st is the Trout Derby. So we're probably going to have to make some extra bait, some extra fishing gear, and some other useful stuff that will improve our fishing capabilities. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but we will see. However, I'm confused by this weird letter we've just got from Joja, because what on earth is it that they're offering? I'm going to have to investigate. Apparently the watery cave on Ginger Island. So that leads me to believe maybe is that the pirate one? I'm going to have to check because there are a few caves on Ginger Island. So I'm going to have a look and see. So whilst we're here, let's explore. But we've also had quite a few deliveries of baked goods from Evelyn over the last few days, which is kind of sweet. We have had a loaf of bread from her today. We had a cake yesterday. So it's not in here. Okay. Interesting. So where? I mean, there's no, like, weird-looking Joja employee. I'm expecting, like, somebody almost dressed up in an A-frame billboard type thing of just being like, Joja. Because, you know, that's actually how Joja adverts go. Actually, I wonder how well that would work out, actually getting somebody to do a recording with me of the actual Joja advert that Clint shoots, because it's, let's say, Clint gets shot by Shane and shoots with Emily, because my goodness, it's so painfully bad. Kind of makes me chuckle though. I mean, I don't know whether it's as bad as that Pepsi advert with the trying to stop the police or some action. It was weird. Okay, so the powder melons are ready. Excellent. So we're going to replant a bunch of these, definitely. But what other stuff could we plant? I still need more broccoli. That's going to be the big tricksy thing to get a hold of. Okay, so they're not like silly valuable when it comes to their actual value. Oh, that sounds real daft, doesn't it? Well, let's slap down some starfruit down for now, because it's what's here and is easily accessible and available. And that's kind of the better plan right now, just to be, you know, on the ball. Okay, let's have a quick look and see what other stuff we can do as well. Well, that's an easy set of planting going on. That's not going to take much time. And yeah, okay, it's going to be a couple of weeks before that's fully readied and grown and harvestable. But that's fine. But the powder melons, I'm going to put them in, turn them into wine, turn them into I nearly said pajamas. Preserves. Sorry, you can tell I'm having a brain fart. They can't be hiding in here, can they? No, goodness gracious. I'm glad they're not. I was half expecting them to be hiding in there with Mr. Key, which would be very peculiar if you ask me. Glad they're not though. Okay, so where could they be? It's going to take me a little bit of time to find them, I think. I've just got to figure out where they could be hiding, though. It's got to be... Oh, I mean, it's got to be somewhere nearby, hasn't it? I'm just trying to figure out where else I could have a look. I think that's the question, isn't it? I mean, well, what other caves are there? Because we've tried that little one there. Of course! The cave here, it's pretty damp because there's the water running through, because that's where Professor Snail survived. Because he had running water and he had the mushrooms. Aha! Well, let's grab some ginger fruit while we're here. Let's just grab the things that are nearby, and then once we've essentially figured out what we're doing here, we're going to go and investigate. Because, of course we are. Makes perfect sense to me. But at least we know, though, now. That's nice to know. Well, I don't actually know for certain yet. This is my assumption. I think that's the worst bit there, is I'm making quite a blanket statement of going, I know I'm right. And it's like, no, usually I'm not. So let's have a look and see at least. Let's see what's actually here. I mean, hopefully something obvious. I mean, I think that's kind of a given, isn't it? We hope something obvious. Here we go. There's a weird-looking chap with, I assume a Joja hoodie. Wow. Yeah, I did get your letter. Your Fizz, Joja Special Delivery Service. Not heard of you. Well, yeah, of course I haven't, because that's a A specialty service for elite clients. Well, wow. So these guys are the ones who clearly deal with all the weird nonsense that was trying to take over the town. I guess. I mean, the perfection waivers. Each of these beautiful pages are worth 1% towards perfection. And they've got key signature on. Oh my goodness, you're terrifying. No, go away. Please, leave me alone. Well, that's... I mean, I guess if I was trying to do a Joja run, it would make sense to essentially visit Fizz. I wonder what triggers that. That letter. And wonder if it's like a guaranteed thing on a certain day? Is it a percentage that triggers it? What is it that triggers it? I genuinely wonder. Gonna have to find out. Let's see. Well, we found him. Creepy looking dude that he is. And yeah, I'm not gonna deal with that. No. Because why would I? It's not my jam. I'm not gonna really want to screw myself over and align myself with the grim that is. I have no love for Joja. I just can't get my head around how much I think they're awful, awful people. I think also Morris is just very, very frustrating. Which I think is kind of reasonable, right? I can't be the only one who dislikes them. I wonder what the percentages are of people who've never even attempted to do the Joja completion. I'd be genuinely curious to have a look at that, actually. Because I cannot stand them. Okay, so we've got some more left. And again, as I mentioned previously, those hoppers there, fantastically useful. Yes, they take up extra space, but when I've only got 2 oil makers going on the go at the moment, I think it makes perfect sense to use them like that. Right. What else can we organise for the day? I think that's the question, isn't it? Well, we've got all the powder melons. I think we should put them in for preservery. I think that's quite a normal thing to suggest. Okay, so we're getting all this tomato juice. I know I put a load of tomatoes in to be turned into juice. So that's going to make life real easy. Because I only need the 1, and I've made a silly amount. So I can hand that straight over to them, and that's great. And I think that's kind of a reasonable thing to aim for and suggest, right? I think. I mean, that feels like it's the best plan of action there. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that one. Okay. So we're gonna have a quick look and see what other stuff we can do today. We've put the powder melons in to be turned into wine. We've got our tomato juice. And we're gonna take that down to our raccoon friends here. So they've got 2 babies at the moment. So thirsty need juice. So here's some tomato juice for you, friend. I do love the fact they've got a little wooden chimney stack. That's quite adorable. The raccoon shot has been expanded. We've got some fairy dust. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And they can have another. Yay, that's adorable. Okay, so it looks like mixed some mahogany seeds as things that we can get now. I mean, that's, again, kind of handy, kind of useful. Because why am I not want extra gubbins, essentially? It's always glorious. Okay, what can you do here? Ooh, do I want another Haley portrait? I still can't quite understand why the Gotoro Empire has pictures of my wife. But I guess we're just going to have to leave it with a I don't know, and I probably don't want to know, I think is the awful sort of thought process on that one. It's very peculiar, isn't it? So let's keep having a quick look and see what else we can find. Now, it's Friday, so I'm going to actually go and visit Krobus. It's been a while since I've actually bothered to do so, because I've not actually gone to visit Krobus, and I feel a little bit bad about it, to be fair. Because, yeah, I could still buy some iridium sprinklers, I could buy butterfly powder. Why do I want to get rid of a pet? I don't want to do that. I like having my pets. They're lovely and they make me happy. So I don't want to get rid of pets. what else is there that is available? Well, we've got ourselves a prize ticket, so we can get that heart book, which Friendship 101. I don't actually know what it does. Well, let's read it. I should have checked to see what it actually does, shouldn't I? That would have been clever, wouldn't it? Goodness, let me have a quick check and see what it actually is going to tell me. Well, after having a quick skim through there, it looks like it improves my rate of friendship. So that's kind of a nice, useful thing. I mean, not very helpful to me at this juncture and stage of the game. But again, that'd be quite a useful book to get. I mean, of course it would be. Okay, so Linus wants... It's not Linus. Lewis. Linus does something very different. Lewis wants a red cabbage, so I could easily hand that over to him. But I'm not as interested because he doesn't want to give me a prize ticket. And I think that's kind of a reasonable thing to want to go for. So what have we got here? Oh, I have infinite energy. That's really cool. That's an interesting benefit. Bit late in the day for it, but... I guess if I was going to do some intense levels of mining, that would be quite useful. But the trouble is, if I am doing that sort of mining level, I'm usually going to be eating a lot of food because I'm needing to. I think. We can see. We can see what we can do at least. Still good. Still interesting. Still something interesting and new. Right. Let's keep going. We've still got a few other things that we kind of want to achieve. And, I think it's going to be mostly cooking. Some interesting new stuff today, really, isn't it? But the question is, what's going to be worth cooking? Right, the fresh fish stew. I think that's going to be our item of choice, isn't it? I mean, it gives a decent amount of boost to stats, and... I mean, I've cooked through the periwinkles, and that's something I don't really have much of. Maybe I should grab a few more of those and actually add them back to the ongoing inventory stock system thing, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, I probably need to have an idea of how many of them I need and have, so might not be a terrible plan. Of course, we've also got lots of wonderful joys with our other miscellanea that we're going to quickly harvest at the end of today. Doesn't look like any of the red cabbage is ready, sadly. Not the end of the world, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Let's see. So we've got lots of different row as well that we should probably, you know, try and churn our way through at some point as well. What else? I think that's the big question, isn't it? What else? Well, I think that's mostly what we can kind of do today. Give the wife a hug. Got truffles, got oil. It's nice that we're producing our own sunflower oil, which I quite like. Weather tomorrow is going to be a beautiful sunny day, and sunny day on the Fern Islands as well. Well, we might as well just conk out. We've got nothing else planned for the day. We made a little bit of money, kind of a given, right? And we're going to attempt to see what's going to happen as part of this trout derby. I'm genuinely curious. I mean, I'm assuming I've got to catch some fish, but that's my sum total of knowledge at this point. I think it kind of feels a bit reasonable, but also a bit weird. You know, that's literally the sum total of my knowledge here. So, let's find out. Okay, so looks like it's already started. Let's move some of the coffee around. Okay, so we've got enough to put another 2 mugs on, which is good. I mean, we're going to need lots of coffee anyway. That's just how this works, isn't it? What next? Let's sell that. Let's sell that. We don't need it. And that's the thing is, now that I've got like a constant generation of prismatic shards, I'm not sure if I really need them for anything. I think that's I guess a reasonable question and quandary. Like, what could I use them for right now? I can't think of anything. Which I know may sound a little bit odd and counterintuitive, but like, what do I use them for? They're there and they're just taking up space, I guess. Which kind of sucks. In a sense, like, it's what am I going to do with them? I don't know. Right, so I'm assuming it's going to be by that sign. Now, I've got my trout soup ready to eat. Okay, so we've got our trout derby. Got a lot of new people I've never seen before. And it's nice, they've got some different dialogue options. Okay, that's kind of cool. Still, I guess. Okay, what can you do? So, get rewards, explanation. During the event, Rainbow Trout have a chance of carrying a golden tag. If I want to turn it in here for a prize. Okay. Can I see what the rewards are? No, apparently not. That's annoying. The famous fishing sisters. Okay. I was kind of hoping, like, Willy would turn up and actually explain who some of these people are, because not a clue who they are. Okay, well, let's eat some trout soup. Let's improve our fishing capabilities. And so we've got ourselves a rainbow trout. Well, it's on the hook. Okay, so we've got one rainbow trout. Cool. That's the thing, is it may have a chance to catch one. Like, may have a chance to be a thing. Which I guess is an interesting thing? Maybe? I mean, a pike? Meh. Don't care about that. I want rainbow trout. That's what I'm after. So come on, gimme damn rainbow trout, because that's what I want. Okay. Well, we've got a chub. Again, not very helpful at this point, but oh well. It's what we do. It's what we'll deal with. Yeah, I was hoping for something a bit better, to be fair. We haven't got really much so far, have we? Which is a shame, really. Well, we've got another rainbow trout. Maybe it'll have something. And nope, it's just a fish. I wonder what the percentage chance is. I wonder if it's a low percentage chance, like maybe 5-10%, or if it's something a bit more dramatic. I mean, genuinely no idea. I've never participated in this before in my life, so I just don't know. It'd be nice to know, though. Yeah. Well, we've got a pike again, and we've got ourselves another chest. So that's fine. I guess we're getting lots of fish, which is nice in general, though. We can use them for something. Again, we can smoke them. We could sell them. We could just throw them back into the river, maybe. Ooh, come on, gold chest. Good. And we got, come on, rainbow trout. Give me something cool. Give me something good. What are we going to have from you? Well, the golden chest is fire quartz. I wonder if using the challenge bait might be a more optimal way of doing this. Because if I'm going to... So I've got a tag there. Because I wonder if I catch 3 fish each time, if I could potentially get 3 tags. I'm going to have to test this and see, I think. So I've got a nice new record of Dorado size, which is cool and all. And 1 singular ticket. So I think... Well, it's either I make challenge bait or I make specific bait for the rainbow trout. I mean, both would work, but in different ways. Because if I've got the challenge bait and I can triple the amount I catch, I might triple the amount of tags I get. But if I've pretty much guaranteed to only catch rainbow trout by using the tailored bait... Talk of the devil, there's some challenge bait. Screw it, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. I mean, we can give it a good try. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we can give it a good go. And that's kind of what we're after here. Okay, so we've still got all 3 on the hook, and 3 rainbow trout. And we get a tag. Okay, so we got 1. Fine. 1 is better than none. I wonder what it's... I wonder if there's a cap on... You can only catch 1 each time you reel in. I mean, that's a possibility, isn't it? Goodness knows. See what the perfect turn... And we've got another 3 again. And another tag. Okay. So it seems that if I catch 3 of them, that's a guaranteed tag. I mean, that's from my 50%... of having done 75% attempt catching of utilizing the... So yeah, so all 3 times that I caught all 3 rainbow trout, I got a tag. I wonder if that is how it works. Well, we've got ourselves a tent kit. That's cool and all, I guess. And my inventory fills. Right, okay, so I'm going to have to quickly head back to the farm. And I'm going to make some more challenge bait, because I think that's the most conducive attempt for something clever that will work here for me. So let's give this a go. The next question is, how much of everything do I need? I think. Because, yeah, I've got lots of stuff, but how many do I need? Okay, so we got the tent kits. We'll grab them. That's fine and all. I mean, I've not made a tent kit, or I've not really used a tent kit either. It might be something to try as well at some point soon, because, you know, it's different. It's something interesting and new and unique. Being able to camp out in the wilderness might be quite handy for, I guess, more so for the early game. I wonder if you can pitch it while you're in the caves. Ooh, that's a thought. I'm going to test that out. Places where you can actually use the tent, and where is generally a really good place to use it. I think that's a very sensible question. Okay, so we've got ourselves a crab pot. I mean, kind of a given, being that this is a fishing challenge thing. Of course, we're going to get lots of course, fishing-related paraphernalia. What else have we got? Okay, well, you've caught a fish. Well done, sir. You've got yourself a fishy. You're the trout man, are you? Okay, fair enough. You do you, champ. Goodness, I think I've been fishing for longer than I felt like. Because I think this is the trade-off with doing the fishing, is because it does pause the time when you're actually doing it. It does feel like I've actually been doing this for longer. Okay, again, we've got the 3 and we've got 1 tag. So it looks like catching the triple will always give you a tag. I'm not upset by that. That's something we can definitely achieve. These are not super complex to catch. I could have sworn they were harder to catch than this. I could be wrong, though, but I could have sworn they were way harder. So, hey, if that's the case, I'm not upset. Not in any way, shape, or form upset about the fact that they're easier to catch. I guess the next thing is, what else next? Hopefully something clever. What else do I need to, or want to do? Well, we've got ourselves another one, so that's good. What else are we going to do with them? I mean, hopefully we can figure something out. Some kelp? Was that algae? One of the two. Either or, not the most terrifyingly useful, I guess. Oh, come on. Hopefully something good. Well, we've still got more tags, which is nice and all, but what else are we going to sort of get with them? Like, because we can't hand them in, unlike the eggs, we don't have an idea of actually what we've got from it. And that's... like, I don't know what we're going to receive, and is there a cap limit? Are we going to get a maximum amount? Is it going to be... I mean, how is this going to work? Which might sound real stupid, but I don't know. It's different. I don't know what the order of it, how it's going to work, and what its benefit is, you know, blah, blah, blah. I've got to figure out something, I guess. And I'm curious to see what kind of works. But, hey, all the same. That's what I'm currently working with in my brain. Well, we don't know what fish it is, and we've only got the one. I'm assuming it's a pike. Yeah, there we go, it's another pike. We're going to see lots of them, I think. I mean, it would be nice to catch something else. You know, the trout. But I wonder how many of these tickets I should kind of cap myself at and say, okay, I'm kind of... I think it's just going to be when I get bored of fishing, which it'll happen eventually. I find fishing not super therapeutic, but I don't find it particularly difficult to deal with. I think it's probably the best way of describing it. It's not like it's the end of the world, really. So we will see, and hopefully it's, I guess, something good. I guess that's another question though, is to everyone else out there, like, when would you go, you know what, I am sick and tired of fishing right now, I'm done. Because there's going to come a point where you go, you know what, I do not care for fishing right now. Which is perfectly reasonable, because every game has some aspects that are going to just tire you out and go, you know what, I'm just done. Are there any like particular mechanics in games that have made you kind of have that? So I'm genuinely trying to think of a couple of mechanics in games that have made me just get sick and tired of it. I didn't particularly enjoy the fishing mechanic in World of Warcraft and on Final Fantasy Online, which I think is, what, Final Fantasy 14? Maybe? Yeah, I think that's the online one. I just didn't exactly enjoy it. It's very tedious and frustrating, but I don't know if anyone else who's played World of Warcraft, or World of Warcrack is probably a bit better description for it. When I was playing it many moons ago, the guilds often had you had to have maxed out fishing, cooking, and first aid if you wanted to join them, because you're proving your dedication and all that jazz, and showing that you don't want to be terrible. Which again, that's a choice. And yeah, I found it thoroughly exciting. I did it. I'd managed it all, which was great and all. But what else was I going to do? Right, okay, my inventory's full again. So I wonder if I should call it there for fishing. Maybe I'll hand in the ticket. Like, I'll sort out the inventory. I'll empty out my gubbins, and I'll go and hand over the tags. And I think that might be me done for the fishing for now, because I'm getting a little bit sick of it. For the moment, at least. I'm sure I'll get more sick of it later, because I'm going to have to keep needing to do more of it, I think. That's going to be a given at this stage. Well, we've got lots more trout. We've got a fair few challenge bait left, which is fair and all. Okay, so let's put all of our fishies away. We definitely need more coal to smoke all of that. Make more money out of it. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one, I guess. What else can we sort out? Well, I've planted those mystic trees, which are the ones that I like, the weird looking star-shaped one that I got from the odd event. Goodness, I was getting a little bit Mitchell & Webb at the event. I'm very painfully aware that's a very British reference, that one is. It's from a particular TV show called The Mitchell & Webb Look. It's kind of a sketch show. Very silly. Highly recommend it. It's very silly. But yes. Okay, so we've got a mounted trout. That's pretty cool. I like that. I do like my mounted trout. That makes me happy. What else are we going to get? Triple shot espresso. Fair enough. I mean, can't go far wrong with that. Quality sprinkler? Meh. I guess, though, because it's going to be in the middle of summer, it's going to be around the time that you're going to have quality sprinklers. So, I mean, it makes sense. Theoretically. Omni geodes? Fair enough. And a bucket hat. Oh, alright. A hat. And another crab pot. I wonder if it's cycled back on itself. I think it has. Unless there's a lot of things to be given and they're random. Ooh. I need to figure that out. I don't know. That's annoying. Well, there's Willy. Are you going to say anything? Would it be nice if he'd had like some unique dialogue specifically, other than just like, you know, how's fishing going for you? Because it's the Trout Derby. It'd be really cool if we had something unique from him. to say about the Trout Derby. Like, I don't know, it's a once-a-year event, something that really cool that we host and it's really awesome, or maybe even some history about it. That'd be nice. Because there might actually be some vague history that pretends to be relevant. I don't know. So, it'd be nice, but obviously not a thing. So let's quickly sort out the crops that we've got here today, because they need to be harvested and replanted. So, do I plant more melons? I'm feeling melons. It's interesting that the melons are a crop that are mentioned by Lewis about the fact that it's a crop that your grandfather always had on the farm. So that's quite sweet. That, again, it's a reference to your grandfather, and I like that because it's nice to see mentions and references to him as part of the game. I'm wondering what other reference information we might see from it. Maybe there's more hidden within the game with the 1.6 update. I don't know. It'd be really cool if there are. But we've also got all of these stupid barrels full of preserves and pickles and things that we need to sort out now. That's an easy enough fix. Just stuff to do. And let's kind of see. I'm going to grab it all for now and then fling it in the bins. But once I've done that, I'm going to try and just clear through some of the stuff that I've got. Because that's kind of important, because there is a lot of guff in my inventory that I don't need. Like, of course, I've got the 2 iridium quality tomatoes. I mean, when am I going to use those other than... They're just going to get flung in for sale. It's... The reason I'm only just selling them is, yes, they still, I believe, provide a lower overall value than if I was to turn them into preserves or wine or whatever. But because of the quality and time, it's the time and effort expenditure. It's actually maybe less worth it for those sorts of crops. Maybe the star fruit, possibly, but I think, again, it's still actually better for me to sell the iridium starfruit. Again, I'm just being very, very mercenary when I don't really need to be, but I think it's because of the, not difficulty I had with at the end of the 3rd year trying to get enough. Because I needed to really get enough of all of the resources to make sure I could earn enough to buy the golden clock. So I'm being very, very, not cautious, but very overly zealous when it comes to money. Which I don't think is a terrible thing, really. But it is something that I am aware of that I am doing. So I need to be careful, potentially. Because I think I'm really just thinking about money. And I know I've mentioned it previously. I find it very easy to just try and stockpile money in games. And maybe I should try and be a little bit more willing to spend. Which is kind of a given, really. I think it's acceptable, but I am very much over the top and overzealous sometimes. Oh well. Let's keep slapping things down here that we need. I mean, hopefully, the melons grow through. And it will be nice to see more references to the fact that we've grown them. That'd be cool. Because, of course, I know that, obviously, Lewis knows that we're growing them. Well, has suggested he knows that we're growing them and he likes seeing them on the farm. But I would like to see more references if you do have a lot and if you ship out a lot. But I guess it's the coding side of things, isn't it? You've got to code that suggestion into the game and other kind of important things. It's a lot of work. And Curious Ape is a one-man band by the looks of things, and yeah, I don't envy I genuinely don't envy the amount of work that he must put in. amazed by it, and I think it's phenomenal, the skill and the ability of this game and how it makes people so excited and happy, which is great. And I think that's just the way this game works. It's just so pleasant. I think it's the nicest way of describing it. It's just a very, very pleasant game. And I think that's the best thing that can ever be described of it. It's just so... It's a sweet, lovely game, and it's why I keep coming back to it, and it's why I decided to use it as the launch pad for my channel, because it's a game I just love and really enjoy. And yeah, before I start getting a bit too, not quite emotional, but just getting a bit too misty-eyed, being like, I love this game, it makes me so happy. Which I'm painfully aware is something very odd and very weird I could certainly do. But I'm going to try to avoid doing that, because that's odd. But yeah. For now, however, we're just going to quickly make sure we've got everything sorted for the next couple of days, which I don't think is going to be super difficult. Let's see. I think... I mean, me smoking the fish just because I'm getting the pop-up of the iridium bars, that's just because I ran past the anvil. Right, I think I'm going to put everything else away for now, like the hat. And then after that, I think is probably a good idea for me to then conk out for the rest of the day. Because I don't think there's much else that I can do right now. I don't think. So, let's go to sleep. We're going to roll into Sunday. Now, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. Of course, I could be very wrong. I'm pretty sure that I've done all of the things that need to be done based on for catching the fish for the rainbow trout. I think I've caught enough of them. I'm going to try and maybe catch a couple more, and we'll see. Again, I could be incredibly wrong, because there could be lots more odd stuff that's available. We might not. So I do not know. I'm not going to try and be like, we don't know. It's like, where people will be going, no, Walrus, you're an idiot, it's this. You need to pay attention, you absolute banana. Because at the same time, I will frequently do catastrophic levels of dumb stuff and be like, oh, that's how that works. Oops. And I know I'm an idiot, so I'm happy to admit it. So we've got a lot more starfruit wine. Then we've got 32 new of the aged wine. So that's another set of 32 iridium quality, which is fantastic. And I'm always excited by that because, hey, that's some extra money coming my way. And I'm not upset about that. I don't know why anyone would be, to be fair. Extra money, yes please. Question then comes, what's the next cunning plan? Really? Alright, what's the next cunning, sneaky plan that we've got, that we could try and pull? Because I don't know. But, yeah, we'll give it a go. Well, let's slap some more of that in there. That's fine. That's some more of our lovely resources, which is nice and all. And what's the next cunning plan here? Well, we've got all the fibre, so I need my scythe. So it looks like I didn't realise the Junoids could harvest it. That's kind of cute. We'll scythe it down. So we've got ourselves a big slab of fibre. So there's another 91 fibre from 15 plants. That's a reasonable return. So that's at least like what? 15 times 6? Yeah, so 9. So yes, 90. Yes, yeah, so it's about 6 per one on average. I can deal with that. I think that's a healthy, reasonable quantity. I wonder how much. I mean, I guess considering also putting it in the speed grow, especially during the winter, that'd be real fast. I could end up generating silly amounts of fiber. So maybe I should do that. I'll just try and just slap my way through and just get as much of it possible. I do really want to try, though, testing out using the mixed seeds in the winter, because if they work, then that should mean theoretically they'll only grow powder melons. Ah, and our new trees, I believe, are fully grown. So I'm going to want some heavy tappers, I think. I mean, I don't know what they produce, to be fair. Because we've got our mystic trees, which are the bluish ones, which provide that mystic goo sap type stuff. But what are those other ones going to make? I mean, what worries me is the if anything. Because they might actually not produce anything at all. Which would suck. Which appears to be the case. I can't put a tapper on them. Okay. Well, that's annoying. What else can I do with them? I mean, I'm hoping there's some clever thing that one can do with them, because otherwise they seem like a bit of a waste. I do wonder. I'm going to have to find out, because that needs to be discovered. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That needs to be discovered. I need to know what that actually gives me, and why do I want them? Because if I cut them down, I cut them down. But I want to know why I'm cutting them down. Which I think is quite reasonable. Maybe? Yeah, I'm very much stumped. We'll figure it out, though. Question is, what will it do for me? Because, like I said, I want to know how useful that is to me. Which I think is a perfectly legitimate and perfectly reasonable logical point to take. I think. Yeah, I'm rambling, I know I am. But it's just 'cause I'm really curious as to what the point of that tree is then, if I can't put a tapper on it. Maybe I should plant another one or two elsewhere, maybe in the quarry, and cut it down, because perhaps it has a bonus when you cut it down, rather than when it's grown, which seems somewhat counterintuitive for the trees that we've got, but maybe it's got a greater chance of accumulating moss, and it might accumulate piles of moss every day. That'd be a nice boost, because then I'd have two trees constantly producing moss for me. That's great. I don't know if that's the case, because of course I'm just spitballing here, but hey, if it does, I can live with that. Very much live with that, actually. But we will have to see, because I don't know. Well, we've got loads of pickled summer squash to get through, so that's fine. That's going to be an easy one to sort of work through, really, I think, because we just want the summer squash. That will give us some extra money, and again, the summer squash isn't like the most valuable of crops, but I like it because it's unique, it's different, it's new, and that makes me happy, because it's something different, it's something new, and I want to have it in on my farm, and I think that's perfectly reasonable. Why would I not want that? But what else can I do with it? That's the question. What else can I do? Because hopefully we can figure something out. Right, so we've got our plots of land being slapped out and sorted out now. So that's fine and all. But what else can we do today? Because there's still like a little bit that I can try and figure out, I think. I guess that kind of makes sense. There's some more stuff that I can do. So we're going to have to give it a try. And see what works out well for me. I've got lots of coffee beans. So the coffee beans, that's going to get slapped in. And I'm going to make these. Because this is going to be useful for the going forward of making all the coffee for Mr. Key. Yeah, my apologies for that bit. I managed to accidentally pause recording whilst I was actually recording that segment. So yeah, I've got all the coffee and I've got it started going, so I should be able to grab it tomorrow morning or later today, actually, considering how quickly the coffee is available. And as soon as that's done, that will give me a dose more of it available to then sell, which is good because, of course, I want to be able to sell more of it because that gives me just a greater amount of upcoming resources, which is great. So it's going to take a few days I think to sort it all out because I'm going to have to constantly brew all the coffee, but the coffee I then get I can then turn into the triple shot espresso, and then that's fresh, and then I can... Yeah, there's a method to the madness, I think is the easy way of putting it. What I am going to do, though, is just quickly work my way through here a little bit more. For now, though, we're just going to see if we can catch some more of the trout. I mean, sunfish is all well and good, but that's not trout, is it? Come on. We've got to catch trout. Because once we catch trout, then we can do something clever with it, maybe. And what we're after, that we want to do and try and do and be clever with, is, well, catch it. I know that sounds particularly dense, but I just want to catch all the trout to want to see if it does repeat itself with that that list of things that need, like, the rewards. I mean, is it random? Is it repeated? I don't know, and that's what I want to find out. And even if I can find that out, because there's still lots of information that's kind of making me wonder, which I think is kind of reasonable. So we're going to try fishing here, because we're not catching very many of the rainbow trout from where we were previously, were we? Which is a real shame, because I want more. Give me the fish. I need the fish. It is a thing. Okay, we've got chubs. Again, not the fish I'm after. I'd quite like some other fish. If that wasn't painfully apparent, that I'd quite like some other fish. Ugh, come on. Not having much luck, am I? I think this is just going to be today's sort of trend, isn't it? Not having much luck catching... Aha! Rainbow trout. Get on my line, stay on my line. No, 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 no. Naughty fish. Bad. Bad fish. You know, because that's indeed what one says when one goes fishing. And, yeah. I've actually never been fishing, like, properly. I've used a net as a child and caught a couple of very small fish, like a minnow and a stickleback. But I've never actually been actual fishing. And that is something that genuinely does interest me. I just don't know where or when, or I need to find somebody to kind of, you know, to take me to do it. Because obviously I don't have any of the equipment, and I just need to find a friend of mine who actually does it already, and that I can just go with and chill out for a day. I think that'd be fun. I'm curious, because the thing is, like, I like to try stuff. Like, in the same way, like, when I lived in the US for a little bit, and I've hunted. I found it interesting. It's not something I go out my way to do, but I've tried it. And, you know, responsible deer hunting to help with the very large populations of deer in Ohio, because that's a thing, apparently. And it gets a little bit unwieldy, in all honesty, from what I understood. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, though. Because, again, I'm just relying on the information that I'm told. But that's how things go, isn't it? You just kind of go with what you know. And so we've got some more sunfish. We've got a few more tags, so let's see what we can hand in. Got a mystery box. Cool. 3 of them. That's nice. What else can we get? A diamond. I mean, that's nice. What else? I think we're out of them. Damn. Yeah, I think that is it. It seems like it does just reverb. Like, not reverb, sorry. It just goes back on itself. Not the end of the world that it does that, but that is what it appears to do. So, what next are we going to try and plan for the rest of the day? I mean, we're at 5:40. We've still got some time to try and recoup some of the time that we've invested in dabbling. I think is probably the best way of describing it. Like, because we've done a lot of weird and wonderful today, with catching lots of different fish and just making sure we've got them and stuff and things, and occasionally colouring in. So yeah. It's been a not like a silly invested day, but the Trout Derby, it's an interesting one. I think it's probably one of those events that's way, way more significant earlier on in the game. So the stage that I'm at the moment, I don't think it's as big of a deal. Whereas, if I was still very early in the games, I think I'd be finding this a lot more useful. Which I think is reasonable and understandable. There are certain components of the game, especially with the stuff that's being added with the 1.6, because it's nice that it's not all just endgame content. There is a lot of endgame content, and when I say endgame, I mean anything after where you might have achieved perfection previously. But now, the extra levels are... It's nice that there's extra events that can and might help you out when it comes to your attempts at doing better in the farm, which is good. And yeah, we'll see how well that goes, because yeah, there's loads more potentially. Okay, so we've got some more animal crackers. That's good. What else are we gonna get, and what else are we gonna do? I think that's the big question. What else are we gonna do with everything today? Because there's not a huge amount more that I can feasibly wrangle, I don't think. Let's see. Well, I like the fact that I've got my big trout on the wall there. That makes me happy. I wonder if I should move my aquariums around and move them maybe up into the loft. Not loft specifically, but the raised area next to the children's bedroom. That might be nice. But it's the plans going forward. So it looks like coming up to the end, because we're now in our final, well, as of tomorrow, we'll be in our final week of the summer. So there's not much point in planting anything like a starfruit, for example. It's going to have to be high rapid speed production. So that's going to be things like radishes, I think. Now, the thing I'm currently hunting for is that damn prismatic butterfly. Because what on earth does it do? And where is it? Because I would quite like to know. I mean, if you get it multiple times, I'm assuming it gives you like a reward of like some money or something. So it's kind of useful. I haven't seen it yet. This is where I'm going to miss it, and somebody's going to say to me like, Walrus, you literally rode past it, you absolute moron. Which, yeah, that's likely to happen. There's no ifs, I know buts about it. I know that's going to be the way of the world. Or I'm going to realise it as I'm recording the audio to this and just going, ow! How do I not fall down more? Because that is a question that I ask sometimes. Let's see. Well, I can't see it here. It's not lurking. It's not by the Wizard's Tower, is it? No. Let's keep searching. I'm just doing a little bit of a perimeter, really. It's somewhere in the valley, I think. So where somewhere in the valley is a very, very different question. Which is a shame, because I'd quite like to know. Because I want it. Again, I think that's perfectly reasonable, right? I want it. Because stuff and things and things. Yeah, I know I'm having a very powerful, elaborate capability of conversation today. I think it's just because I'm a little bit frustrated trying to find it. I don't know where it is. Oh, okay, so the Trout Derby's still going. That's interesting. I didn't expect it to be still running. I would have thought it would have wrapped up by 10 o'clock. But I guess it's an all-day, like, literally all day. Which I guess is an interesting one. Because if it's literally all day, because it does start at 6, so it's nice that it's also another event that you can drop in and out of. It's not one that you go to it. It takes up it's unassigned by the time system, other than its initial start and end point. But then it ends and you miss out the entire day, because that's something I am not as keen on those sorts of of those sorts of events. I know that they exist. They're just a little bit frustrating sometimes. Okay, well, let's side this down. Let's get ourselves some more fiber. Well, I still can't see it. I bet you it's in the Lost Forest. That would have been clever, wouldn't it? Well, I'm going to wrap up there, I think. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed, please do like, share, and subscribe. Big shout out, thank you, goes out to my patrons on Patreon. And I will hopefully catch you all again the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Valley.